Welcome to another exciting episode of Krazy Knights, and it's our special day here. It's our birthday, and National Birthday, Australia Day. And
Yep.
Krazy Knights want to applaud all the Australian people here to, celebrate pride and joy, our nation and our flag, and drink a few cold ones and put a steak on the barbie. Have your celebrations and. Joining with me to celebrate Australia Day as always is David Fowler. How you going, David?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Jamie. And hope all my fellow Australians had a great day today.
Yeah.
hmm
Unfortunately, all my drink is gone. I've done them all over the last few
mm.
hours. It's been bloody hot here, but yeah,
Yeah.
just saw the fireworks about 5 minutes ago. It ended, and yeah, how amazing is it? You can walk out your front door and take about a
Yeah.
2 minute wander up the road, and you can see your fireworks, and don't normally
Yeah.
get that.
While you were out watching yours, they actually had some down. I could hear them going off down here as well. So I think
Yeah.
um, they had fireworks around here somewhere as well. So
Well, that's it. You can walk out
yeah.
at your front door and you know take a little stroll to your letterbox and see the fireworks. And
Mm.
an awesome event for the year of Australia Day. And we are going to post that video clip that the producer had filmed for it, and we're going to put it up on the podcast page and whatnot. And we'll do the same for Independence Day that's coming up on Shay's birthday, the 4th of July. So yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah. So Shay's a bit of a foreigner. She's born on the 4th of July, so no. I know. But anyway, I think we'll do some garbage cleaning at the way first, or what we call housekeeping. Go to our Facebook page. There's some funny um, photos we have put up, and
Mm.
the producer of all things have started to get involved in the mug of the week type of stuff, and the grumpy cat with Paul Stanley was probably the top off the point. It's rock and roll all night, and the grumpy cat
Mm.
turns around and says, "No, the curfew ends at or starts at 10." So it's all good, but no, she's getting involved. We had another photo I put up of Paul Stanley talking about the army, the Kiss Army, that there's nothing
Mm.
like it, and by God, there was a lot of people that spread that photo around the internet world, and a couple of thousand people have shared it all around the
Yeah.
all around the world. So good on them, you know, good
Cool.
on them. And
Awesome.
also, we did get a message on our Facebook page, David, about
hmm
the audio files for iTunes and whatnot. We are rectifying the problem. We still don't know what the problem is, and we are going flat out like a little drink and working this out. Like I said before, I did receive an email from both the website and iTunes about some type of thing. It wasn't about a payment, so the payments are all up to date. It's something to do with the RSS feed that transferring it over. So we're working it on, and I think they've done some different guidelines and that since we started. So everything is changing for iTunes. So we
Mm.
just gotta go with the
hmm
change and see if we can work it out. But we're going flat out like a lizard drinking, trying to get that rectified. It will get
Yeah.
all put back up there again. But please, if you only listen to the audio because you're at work and you love listening to us at work, please be patient. We are working so hard to rectify the problem, and hopefully it will be up by the end of the week. If not, give it a week or two. We're still working it out. We're still trying to get confirmation on some feedback from iTunes of what is exactly going on. So yeah, that's all we can say about that. But Dave, you
hmm
told me earlier that Kiss was on Foxtel just
Yeah.
recently, earlier today.
Yeah. On paper, they were on. I don't know what channel. I was just found out from another friend the NHL game between the Kings and the that ice hockey game where Kiss played a couple of songs and all that. That was actually on pay per view channel. Um, I hadn't seen it on there. I was just watching on Facebook before, but yeah, if anyone knows that that's going to be replayed, just let us know on our Facebook page so we can have a look at it.
Yep.
And let,
Also,
so
also, Dave, I mentioned to you there's a cover going around doing the work now of the
for
Paul Stanley
for
book.
the yeah, it looks at from the look of it, it's same sort of layout. Just the picture that you sent me was the same sort of layout of the front. Pardon me, the front cover of the book is the Peter Chris one.
Yep.
It looks similar, sort of layout. So it looks all right. Looks pretty cool.
And
Can't wait to get a hold of it and see what has Paul has to say.
also, I do want to say this: it is up for a pre-sale at the moment on Amazon.
Amazon, I had a look. It's not up for pre-sale here in Australia just yet.
No.
When I do find out about that, I'll let you all know because I'll be looking at sites like wayhd.com.au to see when it comes up for pre-sale. But no, probably that won't be up on pre-sale here in Australia until probably maybe end of February, early March. It might go up for pre-orders and all that. I think it's out early April.
Yep.
So
Early,
mm,
around the time of the Rock and Roll Hall of
the
Fame.
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there.
Yep. And just lastly, to congratulate the support that we've been getting on our YouTube channel. People are sharing our last episode. Our friend Killer Mick from Melbourne has shared it, and he's always there supporting us, David. And
Yeah, for that. That's my friend Michael.
yep,
It's
and that so he's shared it, and I haven't seen him since about 3 years ago down at the Epsy when you introduced me to him.
yes, but yeah, that would be about that long.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, I'm still here, Michael. I'm still alive, as you can see. Dave and I did this, and yeah,
Mm.
But we love the support. We did
Yeah,
get a mess.
thanks, Bones.
Yeah, we did get a couple of other inboxes or messages, or yeah,
Mm.
some replies back on that episode about someone from America said, how can we go about getting kids to play at a school college thing for the 40th or something? We don't know how we can do that. We're not booking agents. I do want to say this: there are in the plan of penning down their summer dates in America for the 40th anniversary. I don't see it going to be happening if they want to play it at a college event or something like that. Unfortunately,
Mm.
that's the way it is. We're not KISS. We're not part of KISS. We're not part of any of the management things. If anything, just go and talk to KISS online, send them a letter or something. You never know. They might respond back. But all I can say is that from what we know, they're planning the dates now. Nothing's
Yeah.
been confirmed, and if
It
there is,
was yeah, it was apparently mentioned on the Kiss Cruise that they will be coming back here.
yep,
So yeah,
and that,
it's just a matter of when. But we'll find out as soon for sure, like when they put it up on Kiss Online. So until you see it up on there, it's only a rumor at this stage.
and there's nothing wrong with rumors, but
Nah. No, of course not. But until it's confirmed, yeah, it's
we don't want to plug
yeah,
into rumors, but we can give our opinion about that. Everyone has an opinion,
yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, like I said
definitely.
before, and
Yeah,
I'll say it in a jokeful way, and as honest as I can. Some opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one,
yeah. All true.
you know. But anyway,
Mm.
I think what we can do before we go into this week's episode, David, is that there's a lot of things happening on Twitter, and just
Mhm.
recently I was going around Twitter and just having a look on our Twitter page and
Yep.
on the main page, not our profile, just the main wall, and Bruce Kulick will be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
We'll be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes, he said
Okay, cool.
he said he will be at the Rock. Someone asked him, will he be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he said yes, he will be. So
Whether
don't know
he's
what he's
actually,
going.
whether he's actually,
We don't know. We don't know if he's going to
yeah,
be
well, we
playing
won't
or
know until the night.
yeah. but he is going to be there. So that's good for
Awesome.
him to say that, and we now know that he is going to be there. We don't know anything about Vinnie Vincent. Oh, before we
Yes.
just to
Yeah.
remind me, have you seen those T-shirts from Vinnie Vincent official
Yeah,
page?
yeah, I have actually $75 for a t-shirt.
You what one?
Yeah,
No.
okay. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. And apparently all this money's going towards that musical CD thing that I did tell you about. Apparently that's where it's going to trying to create the funds for it to create the album to come out. So yeah,
Mm. To be honest, I think he would have been better doing one of those pledge music things. Um,
well you can't put a brain
it,
in a monument,
well, yeah, true.
you know. And
If he wanted to do that sort of thing,
he thinks he's smart, but he really isn't smart because we know if he went on pledge music it would work, but he can't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
uh,
But saying that, I do want to do one more thing about Twitter. My friend Billy Clements over in America
hmm
tweeted Gene Simmons about the copyright of the Fox makeup. Did Vinnie Vincent actually own the copyright? All that was false, according to Gene Simmons, and he did respond that it's not true.
Oh, okay.
So we
There
don't
we go.
we don't know what what is true and what's not true, but if it comes from Gene, well, that's the thing. Do you believe everything that comes out of Jane's mouth? Well, 95% of it is true. So,
Yeah.
but we don't know. We don't care. I mean, I just want some more Eric Carr um, merchandise to come out, but maybe there's not a demand for it. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But we can always hope and pray that
Oh, well, this, I mean, we can always get it from,
Eric
if you
Carr.
want, ericcar.com.
Yeah,
Go for your Eric Carr merchandise.
yeah. Who would love to
And
see?
we did get some great merchandise from there recently. I can't show mine at the moment, so it's in need of repair. But
Yeah.
um,
You got to
we
take
both,
you got to take it to
yeah,
the Eric Carr workshop and get it repaired. Yeah, I know.
yeah, gotta fix it back onto the stand. But
Yep.
yeah, no, it's
Blame Australia
uh,
Post for that. We know that.
yeah,
But get on to the positive, David. We did get it,
mm.
and with all the
No,
other goodies,
it is awesome.
with
I
all the
must
other.
say.
Oh, you get that pendant that was in that as well.
Yeah, no, yeah, the Fox pendant. Yeah, I got that.
Yep.
Which it looks like the smaller version of his belt buckle that he used to wear on Kiss. It's a mini pendant size version of that. So yeah, it's great little
Make a
thing that
necklace out of
she
it,
sent
mate.
us as well.
Make a necklace out of it.
Yeah, I've just got to get a thingo for it. So yeah, I'll be using that one.
But no,
Wearing it.
that's what's been happening in the Kiss world in this week, and yeah, I can't wait for more to happen in the next week. There's going to be more happening right up throughout the years, but yeah, this week's been absolutely chockers like it was the week before with the Milan festival and whatnot. But yeah, this one is starting to create what may come down the track, and I
Yeah.
think that ice hockey performance might have been a bit of a dress rehearsal for him to come, but who knows? Who knows
Yeah.
what comes around the corner? But it was great. It was great. I haven't seen anything yet because I've been too busy due to certain things that happen, but I'm not going to go into that. Not for anyone.
Why don't we go on to this
We
week's
are.
guest?
We are.
Yeah.
Well, what we do is we're going to introduce this episode of this week, and as always, we've got special guest Ken Kelly, who did the artwork design for Destroyer and Love Gun, and also working for Gene Simmons now for his bass work and the axe. And we did talk about that as well, but we also talked about Manowar, David, and as you know, he's worked with Manowar for over 30 years.
Yeah, he first worked with them when they did it for the Fighting the World album. Did the artwork for the Fighting the World album for them, and done I think several covers ever since. But yeah,
But
A great artist, one of my favourite rock artists of all times, actually.
but also we did talk about how he actually got into art
Mm.
himself. He was actually born with the talent. It was a natural gift. So,
Mm.
but he come from a family. His uncle is a great painter as well, and he got
Mm.
into that as well. It's like a family business type of thing. But no,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about the stories of how he got into, well, got approached by Kiss, what was the concept behind it, and also the Love Gun. There was a couple of different drawings for Love Gun as well that was we spoke about as well, and also we did speak that if the you know what will be his ultimate dream band or artist to work with. Couldn't give me an answer because that's a hard one to answer. I did tell him I'm sorry to put him on the spot like that, but you can understand that he would love to work with
Yeah.
Elton John and Pink Floyd and the Eagles and all that. So he's open to anyone that wants to work with him, and if the door opens, yeah, give him a knock.
Mm.
But yeah, but no, without further ado, we want to welcome Ken Kelly to Krazy Knights at the round table, and we're going to roll this tape because it's audio. I did an interview early this morning on the telephone, and unfortunately David couldn't be with us due to a commitment and that.
Yeah.
And that, but no,
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I couldn't be there. I desperately would have loved to, but I was, yeah, it was, yeah, I
just
wasn't able to make it, unfortunately.
just like the Steve
But
Cornell one, just like the
yeah,
Steve
yeah.
Cornell one, Gene Simmons ring me up and say we can't have David on the interview. So, but no,
Yeah, fair enough.
no,
Uh,
not true, not true. No, David just has a bit
uh,
more commitments, and yeah,
yeah,
and that.
yeah.
But no, but David is part of this, and
Mhm.
we are going to get Ken Kelly back on further down the track,
Cool.
and we're
Mhm.
going to be doing something to do with Manowar later on, so down the track. But we're going to work it on. But no, let's roll this tape, and we'll come back after this interview and wrap it up and give our thoughts and intakes on the interview and what's going to be coming up in the weeks ahead on this episode. So let's roll the tape, and we'll be back after the end of it.
Welcome to Australia's Kiss podcast, Krazy Knights. I'm your host here, and we have an absolutely awesome interview here, and on Australia Day of all things. And I want to welcome a very special guest from all the way from America. Is Ken Kelly. Good evening. Your time is early morning, Ken. Our time. So, how's it going?
It's going really well. It's 3 in the afternoon around here in New York, and what time is it there?
It just hit 6:35 a.m. here on a Sunday morning. So it's all good.
Oh my gosh, just tomorrow.
Yeah. It's just weird. We've my other co-host David, who cannot join us due to commitments and that, but he did say straight off the bat, "Hi Ken," and he's a fan of yours with all the paintwork and artwork that you've done over the tremendous years of hard work. He wants to consolidate his apologies to you, and hopefully he can catch up on the next interview that we have later down the track. So he just wants to say sorry, can't be here, but commitment to family. He obviously can't be here, but we'll continue on. He loves, like I said, he loves this show, and he loves the work you do as well. So that's
Well,
from
it's not
David.
a problem. I understand commitments.
Yeah.
I have my own, and it's
Yeah.
not a problem. Not a problem.
I was born in '79, and Kiss came to Australia in 1980. I was 1 year old, but I still remember to this day seeing old mates when you on Countdown on Australia TV, and didn't actually knew as much about Kiss as you know, I was 1 year old, but I remember Mum sitting me down before the '95 Australian tour, and of course Kiss was out makeup, and Def Leppard video clip was "Let's Get Rocked" on the Adrenalize album, and the next clip after that was "God Go Rock and Roll to You," and in between that was a video a shot of all the old times with makeup, and my mum turned around and said, "Jamie, you realise that you've watched that man who was Paul Stan, at the age of 1 in 1980. And I looked at Mum and said, but that had like a woman with a man's voice. And she gave me a big look and said, Jamie, you realise you're going to see him in a couple of weeks' time without makeup. I go, I understand that, Mum, but that's not Paul. But yeah, it became to be Paul, and yeah, that's how I became a Kiss fan.
So you saw Kiss originally without makeup?
I saw Kiss the first time without makeup.
Oh, wow.
Well,
that's a whole different show.
Yeah, well, what I did is I bought Revenge. That was my album.
Mm-hmm.
My first album was Live One. My first studio album was Revenge. But once I got Revenge, I went back into the hit. I read everything I can find. I picked up magazines. I even lived like Gene Simmons, not with the girls, mind you, but
none of us done everything. None of us can do that.
Yeah, but I lived and breathed Gene Simmons, and I grow the long hair, grow the goatee at the age of 16, mind you, and my mum call it bum fluff here in Australia because that's what it is.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, and it's just a thing that we have on our facial hair when we're going through puberty. It's called bum fluff, and I'm saying, Mum, it's not there. My face is upwards, not downwards. You know? But
okay.
But just a couple other stories. I just went back into history, and I got more inspired by not only what Kiss was doing, but also the other bands that inspired Kiss, like the Beatles, Hendrix, The Who, Slade. I got into that music history thing, and I've always been more about the history, not about the makeup or what, about how they became a band in the first place, what inspired them to do what they did, who inspired them, and so forth, so forth. Mm-hmm. And this is another reason why we do this show, is talk about the history of Kiss and get guests like yourself to talk a bit more in depth of the time with Kiss or stories with Kiss or what have you, and just to share it with the fans down under who may not already know what's been going on in the Kiss world. So this is all for the fans, by the fans, and we love what we do, and this is all we can do. But Ken, I do want to ask you a question after that. Before we get into the paintings and the album covers, what inspired you to get into the artwork in the first place?
I was an artist in all my life, and as I became an adult, I realized that I could make money at it, more money than if I did anything else, and that's what led me in that direction. Plus, I had an uncle that was already in the business, so that was just too much opportunity to pass by. Yeah.
Would you say you were given a natural talent, like some people that can pick up a guitar and from a string and make music?
Yes.
That was basically what you got, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like a natural talent. Yeah.
Yes. Now you have to be born with a certain skill, and then what you do is you build on it and build on it. Frank Frazetta was built with a much larger natural skill than most of us. That's why he went so far. But yes, I had a natural. I've always been an artist from baby. I used to draw on walls, in the kitchen walls, and then I would go through school and I kept drawing, and it's always with you. Just like those who play guitar, some of them are just natural. Jimi Hendrix is one of those.
Yeah, and he inspired a lot of guitar
players. Oh my God, he inspired a whole generation of guitarists. Jimi Hendrix, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He did. And I just want to ask you, how much time did you put into, or like to get the final product? Just say a normal sketch, mind you. How much time and effort does that go into it to the final result?
You're allowed in this country. The process takes a month. You're allowed 2 weeks to come up with a concept. You never take 2 weeks, but you're allowed 2 weeks, and then you're 2 weeks to paint the painting and hand it in. But if you get the concept in, if you get help, like I had help from the art director Dennis Wallach on what they want, they knew what they wanted. They wanted all four guys abreast and running at us, and that was pretty simple concept. So I went home and drew it, and it didn't take me a week. I brought it back. They liked it, and I went home and proceeded to start painting it, and I got it in on time. The first one was the brown one, the one that's actually called Resurrected now. They just published it a few years ago.
We're talking about Destroyer, yeah, the Resurrected.
Resurrected was before Destroyer.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah.
Destroyer thing.
That is true. Because they were all in their live Kiss costumes.
Right.
And
yes, they were.
They're coming. The word run at you. Now, there is a photo, a real life photo shoot of the exact same type of drawing that became afterwards of the four of them posing in front of the camera, like they will look like they were running towards the camera.
Oh, really? They actually did that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a photo floating around just what it came out halfway last year, and there's a photo still shoot, and it looks very, very identical. They didn't have a backdrop as such, but yeah, you can see the similarities of the four fingers looking up and Gene posing and all that. But that's the thing I want to ask you about that four fingers. Now, this is not me saying the story here. I have heard a lot of stories. The four fingers also could be represented that Ace was the fourth member, or Ace put the four fingers up, declaring it the fourth studio album, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, well, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. But I don't know the story. But, yeah.
You're talking about Destroyer, right?
Yeah, when he's holding the four fingers up, yeah.
Well, Bill Aucoin, who was the manager, wanted each one to have a different personality. Gene, Peter, Paul, and Ace. Gene was the monster, the bad guy. Peter was the Bronx drummer, mean, tough guy. Paul was kind of a little feminine, but not really on the bad side. Just graceful, I guess. Graceful is a nice way to say it. And Ace was supposed to be way out there in space, just like a space cadet, floating, woo! I'm so high I can't even think about what I'm doing. And that's the pose that I picked to pick, that he was floating or high as a kite, either way. But I picked that pose, and they approved it.
Yeah, and I've got to say, that when it became Destroyer, the album covers, because the costumes changed as well into a different concept.
Well,
and
what actually happened is, when I painted the first one, the brown one, the Resurrected one, Casablanca Records rejected the cover because of the burning building behind them. It was too violent in 1975. So I was told by Bill Aucoin, the manager, that it was rejected by the label, but that he wanted us to do another one, and we would take all of the violence and put it very far away. So I was supposed to use the same poses, put them up on a mountain, and put all of the violence miles away down below. And if you look, you can see small buildings in the background way down below. And that's what we did. But in the meantime, while I was starting the cover, they changed costumes into the Destroyer costumes. So they got out of the Alive costumes, and they brought me pictures of the new costume, and that's how Destroyer happened. And then Casablanca approved it, and we were on our way. But that's how Destroyer happened.
Yeah, because when they went to London or England for the first tour, they actually did play some songs of Destroyer, Resurrected, before Destroyer came out. They played Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, and I think a couple of other songs in their live costume.
Oh, okay, look at that. Wow.
And when the album finally came out, they had a different costume. And they had that all the way up to all the way up to Rock and Roll Over.
All right. But they had, what happened to Kiss between Alive and Destroyer is they got a lot of very large bankers behind them. Okay, once they did a live, the KISS was still halfway small when they did a live, and the bankers realized that these guys were going to be giants. They all got behind them, and now all of a sudden KISS had a lot of money, a lot of banking behind them, and that's what happened with Destroyer. It went just right through the world. It was presented all around the world. So the people like you that know the complete history know it. But when I was working with KISS, there was nothing but Rolls Royces down on the street, because all of the men, the guys who had the money, they wanted to play. They wanted to put some money in to get a share of KISS, because it was good. They knew they were going to be huge. So by the time they hit Destroyer, they were on their way.
Yeah, because the question I want to go into this time is leading up to Resurrection and Destroyer. The album covers of the first 3 albums were basically black and white, and you had KISS on the cover, mainly black and white, except for Hot in Hell, which did have a little bit of a colour to it, but still the primary colour was black and white. Then after Alive came out, the next 3 studio albums, Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun, were completely different. It was a completely changed thing. And
now they had money. Now they had money. They could spend money on a cover. They weren't even in control. Well, Gene was. Gene told me on Love Gun what pose he wanted, but they didn't need to. They had so much money behind them, they could have any cover they wanted. But they did want a fantasy cover because it's part of who they are. The only living superhero characters. It's who KISS is. So they wanted that kind of a cover.
Well, I've got to say this, Ken, and I'm going to give you a wrap. These 3 covers, starting from Destroyer right all the way up to, I'll say, Unmasked, are probably the best covers that I have seen.
Yeah, I agree with you. KISS has done some really wonderful covers. There's a lot of artists that have done a lot of good work for KISS, and I'm proud to still be part of. I paint Gene Simmons guitars now, and I'm very proud of that. So
we are going to go into that a bit later on because I am a Gene fan, and I love his artwork and his acts as well, and his Punisher and whatnot. But yeah, we will go into that. I know some other bands that you've worked with on the album covers as well. We are inspired
I'd like to get Manowar over in Australia. I really would.
Well, we'd love to get them down here because there's some artists that have not even come down to Australia.
Well, I after you stop the recording, we'll chat about that. But keep going.
But as we go along, Destroyer was, I got to say, probably one of the best album covers out there. But leading into Love Gun, what was the theme, or what was your mindset when you put it onto paper before you started to paint it?
Do you have the KISS history book?
Yes, I do.
KISS, okay. So you've seen the pencil drawing of the KISS in the alley with all the girls at their knees?
Yes.
Okay. That's the actual drawing that I did for Love Gun, because now you have to remember, there's a story here, because when I didn't know anything about KISS when they hired me. They called me up on the telephone and told me to come into New York, and they wanted to speak to me about doing some album art. Now, I had never done an album before that. I was working as a horror magazine cover illustrator. And they went down into the street in Manhattan to a newsstand, and they saw one of my covers on that newsstand, and they called me. They wanted to come up and talk to me. So that's how I got the job of Destroyer. But I didn't know anything about Alive or the history of KISS, that they wore makeup or what kind of music they play. I was completely outside of music. So when they gave me the assignment, I knew, because of the kind of paycheck I was getting, that this was a gigantic assignment. So hold on. My granddaughter has nothing. They I had to just tackle this as though it was the most important thing in my life, and I did. I did absolutely the absolute best job I could. Listened to them very carefully. I did it on the first one, the Resurrected, and then even when that one didn't work, they repaid me again for Destroyer, so I did it again. And I tried as hard as I could, and trust me, when I saw the advertisement that Kiss did with that cover, the Destroyer cover, all over America, they posted that cover on every store and block on the side of buildings, and I was just amazed at the advertising budget they had for Destroyer. So I knew then, once I saw the advertisement, that this was a very, very large band, that these guys were going to be gigantic. Because before that, I didn't know anything about them, all right?
Yeah.
Now you go on to Love Gun. They call me back in 2 years, and they say, Ken, we want you to do another album cover. Well, I still think they're this back alley kind of band. That's why I did the drawing of them at the rear stage door and the girls at their feet. All right? And Gene says, Ken, we are much bigger. We're huge. We are so much bigger than that now. We should be on a big, huge stage with pillars and all these really fancy girls at our feet. And I said, okay, I'll go back home and do another rough. And I did. And then the second rough is what you see. Them with the pillars, so they're coming out of this big stage, and there's a lot of leather girls around them and things like that. That they loved. And he said, okay, that's it, do that one. And I did it just as hard as I could. And that one also, I think they did $100 million on that. So.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a question that I put out to some of the Kiss fans out there. What album sold more than the other? Was it Destroyer or Love Gun? And I think it's a tie. I think Love Gun just might have sneaked in front of Destroyer. Might have.
I think it's very close. It's very close. But they were the best, as far as what I've heard from the industry, is they were the two best-selling albums they had. So I don't know. I don't know now, because they're so huge now. My God, they go everywhere. So, but back in that day, it made my career. Those two albums made my career, because I was, all of a sudden, the whole world knew who I was. I didn't know the whole world, but the whole world knew who I was. So, but I didn't.
Well, sorry for cutting you off. But when I bought Love Gun at the age of 13, when I saw the cover, I thought, that looks like a Kiss church. And well, when you go to a Kiss concert, it is a church of some type. But the album cover, it looks like a church. And yes, the girls are there, and I'm saying, that's what I want. I want Kiss. I want Kiss. I want more Kiss. And I've just had a bit of a thought that maybe somehow he might open the window to get you to do another album cover. But now that you're doing artwork for Gene Simmons bass guitars, who knows what the possibilities might come.
Well, they're two separate entities. Doing Gene guitars is not working for Kiss. It's working for Gene.
No, that's true. Yep.
It's working for Gene, so it's not working for Kiss. So, like you say, if they decide they wanted to use me, if Kiss decided they wanted to use me again, great. That's wonderful. I would love to do more. But I am very happy doing what I'm doing and back with Gene, and I'm knocking out the guitars as fast as I can. But I'm sure I would always love to do another cover for Kiss. Right now I'm finishing a cover for Manowar, so I do a lot of groups. I have an Australian. Did you know Elm Street?
Yes.
They're from
Melbourne. They're from Melbourne. David said that. David did speak to talk about Elm Street because they're a Melbourne band where he's from. I'm in Adelaide.
I'm about to do a cover for Elm Street too. So, all right, well, you get ready for that, because we've already chatted, we've already talked, and now they're just waiting for the label to say when. So I do Elm Street. I do albums for guys all over the world. I'm negotiating to do one for a Swedish heavy metal group. So all over the world.
I truly do love the Manowar concept, because they've got like the barbarian type of look, and what you've done with Destroy, it worked wonders. It's hand in hand from my perspective, because they're like the very first one that you did for Resurrected or Destroy Resurrected.
Yes.
you had the burning buildings and all that, and then you look at Manowar, it's like, yeah, I could see two similarities here. They got it works. It works. That's all I got to say. It works because Manowar. When I seen that, I'm saying yes. No?
Manowar is huge in Europe. Huge. You should see their audiences in Europe. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. They do $1 million a show. So they are huge. I'm going to be there with them in June in Germany and July in Finland. I helped them out there, and I would love to negotiate some. If you knew any promoters in Australia to get them to Australia, I'd come with them, or if you anything you want. But I would love to get Manowar. I could even give you an email who to contact to see if you could work things out. I would love to see Manowar go to Australia.
We've just got a festival coming up next month here in Australia called Soundwave, and that's more like a metal type of festival, and that could probably fit them. But if they want to do it on their own, I'm more of a fan of bands doing their own concert rather than festivals. David likes the festival so much more to choose from, but for me, being a fan of music, I want to be able to go there without little.
There's a lot of different ways we could work it. I wish you could talk to people.
I would love to because artwork you've done has basically opened my eyes, especially like I said, Love Gun and Destroyer, because they were the two albums that for me stood out the most. I do want to put in Rock and Roll Over. That was from another artist, but those three albums after Alive, they really stood out for me. The music, of course. Like, don't forget the music. The music was great. The album cover.
The music was great. Yeah. Well, that was my job. My job was to complete the fantasy because they had all the music, they had all the costumes, they had everything ready. All they were missing was the correct cover, and that's what they asked for. This is who we are. Show the world, and that's what I did.
I just want to ask you a question. If there was another band that I haven't worked with yet, more importantly, what would be your ultimate dream to work with?
Oh my
as
God,
a band?
I wouldn't know. That's a difficult question.
Sorry to put you on the spot. Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'm an old guy. I'm an old guy, so I go way back to the 70s, way back to the Eagles, Elton John, Pink Floyd. I guess ultimately, and you can't because they have one of them dead already, would be Pink Floyd. But there's a lot of older. It doesn't bother me who I work for. I mean, it's all good. I'm very busy, and enjoy the heck out of what I do. And I hope it continues. I would, but I could personally get Joey, the leader of Manowar, to talk to, just like we're doing now. If you'd like to talk to him alone or him and me, I could make that happen for you. I could make that happen.
So just to confirm that, Manuel, it's Manoel.
Yes.
And I've got magiccirclemusic.com.
There you go, magiccirclemusic.com. That's the gentleman you want to speak to. He knows everything about their entire world tour and what they do. But if you want a personal chat, talk, interview with Joey, I could arrange that. I would love to get that to happen for everyone because I live with their music every day, so I think they're fantastic, and it's a shame they haven't been to Australia. And I know, they had a problem getting into Romania at one time, and they had 1,000 fans write letters to the promoters in blood that they wanted Manowar, and now it's the best running show in that country. So once you get there and you see the numbers of people that are involved in this, it's just incredible. That's why I'll go on tour when they have a festival, and he'll invite me, and I go with him for a week. And it's just a very good event. So anything you can do would be appreciated.
No, we'll do what we can, and we'll push it out as much as we can as well, because there's so much music out there that, like I said before, hasn't came to Australia yet. I don't think Lordy has been to Australia. I know they've been to New Zealand, but I don't think Lee's been to Australia. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me that, but I don't think they've been here before. Another band that I'm interested in is Reckless Love.
Okay.
They haven't been to Australia. I understand, and this is what I want to talk about more. There's a lot of music happening around Europe at the moment, and
yes,
the history of our music here hasn't changed. The music really hasn't done wonders worldwide, except for AC/DC, Airborne. Wolfmother is another one who was Australian who just recently broke up and whatnot. But In Excess was another band. They've broken up. But what I'm saying, there's not much megastar or icon bands that made big overseas.
Right. I agree.
There's the same things with a lot of European artists that haven't came to Australia. Not saying they won't come to Australia. It's just that the demand, or I don't know if the demand's there. I don't know if the fans want it. I know the fans want it, but what I'm trying to say is the radio stations here in Australia hardly play this type of stuff. Maybe I should go back on radio like I did 3 years ago and play the music the fans want to hear and break the rules. Because I used to run a KISS radio show 3 years ago, and I played everything that KISS brought out, and I broke the rules because the mainline or the mainstream radio stations will only play the well-known songs like Rock and Roll All Night, I Was Made for Loving You, and so forth, so forth. But what about playing Sweet Pain on the radio? What about playing Flaming Youth? I did that, and I want to get back. I want to get back into it, and Manowar will be one of the bands in the top 5 that I'll put on the list because they need to hear this type of stuff on the radio.
I could make it happen for you if there's a demand of any kind, and for an interview with Joey or getting them over there, I could help make that happen because I've been with them for 30 years. I know them, how good they are. I know their audience. It's just you guys got to work that out. But
yeah, we will.
It's there for you, and I hope you take advantage of it.
We will, because Dave and I do know some people in the music industry, and David's my right-hand man. He's more...
of Summer. Do you know the band 5 Seconds of Summer?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. My granddaughter wanted to know if you knew that. That's just, thank
okay.
you. You just made her day. You just made her day. So she wanted to know if you knew. Okay. Are they an Australian band? Yes. Okay. She said yes. Okay. All right. Never mind. Go on. I'm sorry, Jamie.
That's okay. I
crazy.
I can throw out some other Australian bands for your granddaughter. We've got the Wiggles.
You got the Wiggles?
The Wiggles are Australian. No, they're a children educational type thing.
Okay.
But we had Human. They're a bit like a troubadour type of boy band. They do a bit more of a what do you call it? The Harlem type singing.
Okay.
And that Airborne's another one.
AC/DC,
as you know, AC/DC. We got a lot of.
She's just going nuts that you knew the 5 seconds of. So that's good. That's fantastic. Because they're big over here too. So you made her day. You made her day. Boy, this recording is going to take a lot of editing.
That's okay. But I do want to say is going back on the KISS. Now we got that out of the way. How are KISS behind the scenes in the business? I mean, Gene and Paul are great businessmen, and they have been for the last 40 years.
Yes.
But you've personally been with them and discussing the concepts of different albums that you work with, and also how was Gene doing the guitars. How are they like as a businessman compared to what they are on stage promoting kids?
Well, they're killer businessmen. They know how to strike a deal that's going to benefit them. You could tell just by what their success rate and how large they are that they know exactly what they're doing. I know more about Gene than Paul, and he is just. I would hate to be an opponent against him in business because you're going to lose. The man is just. He's a genius when it comes to business. He knows exactly what he's doing every second of the day. You're never going to fool him, trick him, sneak up on him. No way. He was. I've watched him sign autographs for hundreds of people at a hotel, and this one man slipped in $100 bill with a Sharpie, and Gene knew it instantly, because I'm not going to sign that. He said, "Get out of here.
No.
Take it and get away." He knew, so he never gets lost in anything. He always knows what he's doing, and he's a tremendously capable businessman. Tremendously. He has a very large business organization that stands behind him. He's got an entire legal, a building of legal people. They're huge.
And
So,
you just mentioned about that guy with the $100 bill and Gene refused to sign it. Gene does that quite often. He can spot a person a mile away, whether they're a legit person or whether they're there just for their own amusement. Because here in Australia, there was a few incidents here around 2004, when he done the arsehole promotion as well. Fans will just put out there the probably can't. I'm saying a guy that dressed up as a businessman with a suit and tie, expecting to get something signed by Gene.
All right.
Gene spotted this person a mile away while he walked into the radio station, and also when he came back out. There is a clip. There's a clip on YouTube about it that Gene. The name of the YouTube clip is Gene dummy spits at a fan. Well, moral of the story is this fan was basically being almost identical to that guy with the $100 bill, but a bit more over the topish.
Yes. Gene's very alert to it. Very alert to anyone trying to take him. He is tremendously. You're not going to trick him. You're not going to trick him. No.
But the thing about that YouTube clip, the guy was actually filming the thing.
Oh, really?
The guy was actually filming the thing, asked for an autograph, and making fun of it as well.
Oh my! I wouldn't do that with Gene, so I don't know. I don't know anything about a YouTube incident, so but I've seen Gene in action because I've been with him when he was signing, and I could see how he knows the adoring, loving fans, and he also knows the predators, the ones that are out there like that. So.
I do understand the fans want to get autograph and that, and I was one of them too. Right? And in my days, I don't go out for autographs now. I'll go out and get photos if I need to be. A photo's more important than an autograph.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that I met the band last year here in Australia on the Monster Tour, and I also met them at the airport when they first came here.
Oh wow.
And I was standing beside Gene. And I just came out from work, and I had my partner, and we dressed up sharply. Not normal with me when I make Kiss. I normally have a Kiss T-shirt on or something like that, but no, I dressed up sharply because I came from work to the airport. And I said to Gene straight out, "Do you mind if I've been polite? I just asked him, do you mind if I take a photo of you?" He said, "I don't mind what you do." Well, fine, man, I'll take a photo. But I do understand there are a lot of them that just want to keep pestering, and eventually you'll get nothing.
Right.
And
well, now he's got a whole team of people with him, and they'll pull you away.
Oh, of course.
They'll actually pull you away. So you'll get one or two, and then the person next to his bodyguard people will actually remove you. So I've seen that happen too.
I learned halfway last year, don't walk in front of the Well, don't walk or be in the way of Kiss when they're trying to go through an air terminal.
No.
But the thing was, I had my iPhone cell phone trying to take a photo, and I couldn't get a right angle. And unfortunately, I had the touring manager behind me, bodyguards. I had news reporters that want to take photos and interview Gene while walking through the terminal.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what you're saying. Don't get away because they'll have bodyguards there pulling people away. I'll say, okay, I mean, what I do is, and I said this to a lot of fans, show respect, know when the timing is right, and if they don't want to be approached, don't approach them.
Bingo. Absolutely.
Because Paul will have a bad day, Gene will have a bad day, and they don't want to be approached. It's just leave them alone. I mean, I'm only going on about when Kiss are at a coffee shop and fans spot them at the coffee shop and can have an autograph. Why would you want to approach them? I mean, I know that you want to have the star moment, or you want to meet your idol and that, but there's a time and place for everything. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying just show a little bit of respect and whatnot, and you'll get a long way. And
you show respect, you'll get respect. If you don't, he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly who he is. He's totally in charge of his life. He knows every second what he's doing, and I really enjoy working with him.
Yeah, and just to finally go on to the Axe Guitars and the Punishers, what designs are you doing now? I mean, I know we've probably been a bit busy going on at the moment, but what are you focusing on at the moment?
Gene likes bones and skulls and blood. So I'm trying to design a lot of different bones, skulls, things like that, and make them all look different colors and different shapes. And when you do something on an axe, it's sideways, and when you do it on a Punisher, it's up and down. So you could do the same skull. If you do it in blue and then in yellow and then in red, you could do 3 different kinds. So, but Gene loves bones. He loves skulls. He loves stuff like that. So, and blood all over the place. He loves blood. So that's basically what I'm. They'll have them on tour. I think they're going to have a new tour in February, and a 2-year tour. And I'm paint. I know I've been told to paint as fast as I can, and I've already got 12 done. So I hope to have.
Yeah. Well, sorry. I've just had a thought in my head. Pass one our way, wouldn't they?
What happened?
I said, pass one of those paintings our way. We'll love to have one. I'm only joking.
I wish I could, but I signed a contract that none of that could happen. I would love to show you pictures as soon as if you could get in touch. Go on my website on the front page, and you'll see there's a few guitars on there. And that's KenKellyArt.com. You go on there, that front page, you'll see 3 of the guitars right there. And if you call that number, that guy Paul Haaland, he'll tell you everything about him. He'll tell you everything. He knows. They see everyone. Gene just told me the last one I just did is the best one yet. He told me that. So I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. Now I want to come up. I got to keep coming up with concepts though.
I was only joking about sending us over. That was only a joke. But
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I wish I could. I absolutely wish I could. I wish I could because it's good publicity.
Well, I'll give you a concept. There was a Punisher around the Revenge Alive 3, and Gene had a bright orange, reddish-looking Punisher.
Uh-huh.
That has never came back out to the light of day since.
So just an orange Punisher?
Yeah, it was like an orangey, reddish color Punisher.
Yeah.
He already had the black and white one, but halfway through the concert, there was a reddish, orange color, like a flame Punisher, all over the body. If you watch Kissology Volume 3 and you go to the Revenge tour or the Revenge concert, he plays that Punisher on the stage. To this day, that Punisher has not came out since. I have not seen it here in Australia.
He's
I
probably
don't think.
sold it.
I don't think it was played on the. I'm
I-
pretty sure.
he's-
I'm pretty sure it wasn't even played on the reunion tour.
Well, he probably sold it. He sells guitars, you know. So there's.
I know that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. But that's a concept. Maybe you can use something with a flame. If he does breathe fire and.
Oh, I already did flame. I already have flame. Trust me. I got flame. I got fire. I got blood. I've got ice. I've got. I'm using all the elements on Earth. Trust me. Because I got to do a lot of them. So but I'm very happy doing them. Very happy.
Yeah. And we appreciate your work that you have been doing, and also with Manowar. And I will get on to the game as well, because you never know. Windows of opportunity do come for those who really go out there and look for it. And
Bingo.
you know,
yeah, good for you, Amy. Good for you. Yep.
Yeah, we are absolutely adored with your work and you know your inspiration of just painting. I mean,
I'd love to go to Australia. I would love to go to Australia. I passed by 40 years ago when I was in the service on a boat, but I've never actually been to Australia, so I'd love to go there someday.
Well, the problem, I did speak to another, an interview, another guest who was into comic books and whatnot, and we do have comic conventions down here as well, and maybe that's another thing. We've got
I would love
we got the Last Doctor that was just played in Doctor Who coming to this convention coming up very shortly, and my partner's a massive Doctor Who fan, and
yeah, I do I do comic conventions. I don't do that many because I'm so busy here, but I do comic conventions. So it's just if you could find a way to get me there, I would love it.
Oh well, I will definitely do that for you. Definitely do that for you.
That would be great.
Because anything, we just love to get all these people from Kiss World come to Australia. I know it's going to cost a bit of money and whatnot, and time is another thing too. But if we can make it happen, we make it happen. We'll get the right people to speak to on our side and work it from there. Because
I'd appreciate it.
You're more than welcome to come to Australia. We'll put a shrimp on the barbie. We don't call it shrimps here. We call it a prawn.
Okay.
So we'll put a prawn on a barbie for you, and we'll give you a bit of a snag, which is a sausage, and put on a bun for you. Hey, it's Australia Day. It's Australia Day. I'm bringing all these flangs out for you, so it's all good. But no, Kelly, I want to say thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure going down a trip of memory lane and also other things as well that the fans definitely will enjoy listening to. And I hope so. Go to your website at is it kenkelly.com?
Ken Kelly Art.
KenKellyArt.com.
KenKellyArt.com. You go KenKellyArt.com, and if you actually did Ken Kelly FantasyArt.com, you get to the newest version of the site. So KenKellyFantasyArt.com, and you get right to those guitars. You'd see exactly what I'm doing for Gene.
Well, we will post that up on our podcast page on Facebook. And Ken Kelly, we will send you an invite, so that will send you all the details on Facebook.
Thank you.
And that as well, because
thank you very much.
The more the merrier, and we'd love the support that we get from the fans and also from the guests who come over on our show. Ken Kelly.
Delightful talking to you. Delightful talking to you, Jamie.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And guys, please, please give a round of applause or a cheerio to Ken Kelly, and you can find him and on his website. Just endorse the artwork that I have, and not just me, but all the other fans around the world that's been older than me that like Kelly's artwork as well. But Ken,
thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
well, there you have it. Ken Kelly, and what an awesome guy to speak to, and the stories that he shared. And David, what's your intake on the interview, especially the two album designs that Resurrection was going to be the official name?
Some great stories there. Yeah, everybody. Hope you got something out of that. That was a great interview, Jamie.
Yeah.
Did a good job, mate.
I'm not being big head, but Jesus, when we first started this podcast, I did say to you, David, that you know, expect the unexpected. This is going to take off, but I didn't expect it to take off this big. And I have to admit, there's got to be some people out there that really do love our show, and the talk is going around. And with the respect that we got for people joining our show and for the fans and whatnot, if we get one person to
and
join
that's how you stumbled into Kiss.
We're not here to hit records, but
no. I stumbled into Kiss in 1980.
Having people like Ken Kelly and Alan Parker and Steve Cornell and so forth, just make this show such a wonderful, laid-back, enjoyable do, and it's going to lead on to different other avenues. And you know, with Ken Kelly, could lead us into another direction with another person, or that person can lead us into another direction with that person. It all links up. We've got connection, and we communicate well, and that, and it just leads on, and it's just a big jigsaw puzzle. The Kiss world is a jigsaw puzzle. We just put every little piece together, you know, of people. So what I might not know, they'll tell me, and then we'll pass me on to somebody else, and it just creates. But no, I do believe, you know, Manowar, we did speak about this, and as you know, that I believe Manowar should come down. I did say that Manowar should come down here, but due to whatever reason it is, they just haven't been down here yet, and hopefully we can get them down here. And I did say to Ken, as you hear on that interview, that we're going to try our best to do anything possible, any way, shape or form, to get them down here. And you know, he'll come down here with them. Apparently he, like you've heard, that he joins them. He gets invited to be with them on the festivals in Europe, and he has been. And if Manowar comes down here to Australia, he'll be here. So who knows? Anything possible. Dream big and go with your heart, I suppose. But Dave, I do want to talk about what might be coming up in the next episode. Just give out a few teasers. We are talking to some other great guests, and I don't want to give out a person's name yet, but we can just say this, that this person has worked with a certain member of Kiss.
Cool.
You know?
Yeah, can't wait for that one. Well, you'll just have to find out, people.
Yep.
Keep tuning in.
Keep tuning in, and you never know, we might just happen to surprise you, lot people. You know, we don't go out there and say, oh, we got such a big interview and that. Well, we do have a big interview. It might not be your cup of tea, but for us, for me and David, for being a Kiss fan who we are, it's huge. And I will say this, I am in talks with a producer that did a couple of albums with Kiss. So just waiting on some feedback from him and see if we can get on our show. So David, fingers crossed, that will work.
Yeah.
That will work. So that's what we can give out at the moment. We're not going to say who it is or who they are or whatnot, but we have been in talks, David. We have been in talks, and you know, David, things do come for those who wait.
Yeah, true.
And David, you want to do a bit of an uptake on Kiss gig that's happening on the 25th of Feb in Melbourne at the Cherry Bar.
Yeah, well, at Cherry Bar, and I forgot what date is it again? 15th to the 16th. They're doing a tribute to the first Kiss album. They're going to play, since it's the 40th anniversary of since the first album, musicians getting together at the Cherry Bar to play the whole entire first album in its from start to finish to pay, for the 40th anniversary. Tickets from memory they were $20 each. They will be playing Kiss music throughout the night. There are going to be a couple of other bands on the bill as well. So if you're in Melbourne on that day, make sure you get down to the Cherry Bars. It's going to be one awesome night, and I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm trying to make myself there with Shay, but I'm just want to
Yeah.
ask you, David.
Hmm.
I remember something like this happened 3 years ago about 3 years ago in Melbourne, and there was a special guest that joined them. Will that special guest reappear?
Special guest.
Talking about BK. Bruce
Well, who knows?
Willis, you know?
Who knows, mate? Don't think so at this stage.
Okay.
But you never know.
Yeah.
I think we would have
Found out.
found out by now if he was going to come. I think he might be a bit busy with other things in America at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just had his,
Marriage.
he got married and all that, and he had his honeymoon, and he's got probably a few other things in the pipeline at the moment as far as touring and writing for maybe another Bruce Kulick album. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who knows? But if it, we'll love to see Bruce back down in Australia, and
Mhm.
Dave, we spoke to him 3 years ago. We had an interview with him for the radio show. It was all good.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I was with you. I was with you on that one. That was it was great getting great talking to him.
Yeah.
And all that. So.
But no, we just want to wrap that up. Also, guys, please share your support. Share the YouTube channel. Share the Facebook page, and all that, because the more the merrier, and that's all we can say. But Dave, I think we better wrap this up. It's been a great Australia Day. Raise your glasses. I don't have one yet. Oh,
pardon me.
God bless you, my son. But no, raise your glasses. Have a toast for Australia. Put a meat on the barbie or whatever you want to do it, man. Tomorrow, enjoy the day off work. It's a public holiday, national public holiday. Enjoy your day off work.
Yeah, I'll be watching WWE Royal Rumble. So awesome.
Yeah, I'm going for CM Punk, but I reckon Dave Batista will win it. But who knows?
Yeah, I reckon I'm thinking Batista as well. So it'll be interesting though. I'll be there, and hopefully someone else makes an appearance.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania. Sorry, Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
The Dead Man.
Yeah, well, we'll be watching it tomorrow, both of Dave and I. I'll be here in Adelaide watching it, and Dave will be doing Melbourne watching it, and then we can do our little commentary on Facebook together, Dave, of who we think.
Yeah.
But at least, I do want to say this, at least my idol has been inducted into the Hall of Fame of WWE.
Regarding, get back just for a sec, Jamie, about that gig.
Go the gig, yep.
I was just going found some information on it. 40th anniversary. This is what it says on the Facebook event page. 40th anniversary celebration of Kiss's 1974 debut self-titled album, performed in full by a local all-star band featuring Tim Henwood from the Super Jesus, Rusty from Electric Mary, Paul Drennan from Bruce Kulick's band, Bruce Kulick and Mike Tramp's band, and Travis Dragon, who's the drummer for Bruce Kulick's band when he tours here in Australia. Plus DJs playing Kiss music all night with special guest Thunderstag, which features our friend Julian James on vocals, and also Mark Walsh and the Rocket Riders. It's on Saturday, February 15th at Cherry Bar, ACDC Lane in Melbourne. Doors open at 8 o'clock, and tickets are $20 if you go to the Kiss 40th anniversary event page and there's a link there to buy tickets. .com.au. There will be links to buy tickets for it there as well. So make sure you get your tickets and get there for one awesome night.
Yep, go to www.cherrybar.com.au for all the
Yep.
details, and you never know, you'll see Dave and I there. Hopefully me, because
Well, definitely you'll see me there, of course.
Yep.
And,
but I do want to say this, just to wrap it up.
Mhm.
There's been a bit of a setback with one of our workers here for Krazy Knights, with my partner and the producer, who's got a bulging disc in her back. She has sustained this back when she was 13. I took her to hospital last night. We're waiting for some reports back on the 29th of this month, and that. But if everyone can put you in their prayers and thoughts, and go and
That's
to
right,
our
yeah.
page and wish her well.
Get well soon, Shay.
You know, hopefully she'll be all right. But yeah, she's been given some painkillers at the moment. It wasn't too pleasant last night, but unfortunately, she's like, when it happened, and yeah, she'll be right. I'll be looking after her and whatnot. But she's on light duties this week, David. She's on light duties, so it's all good.
Yeah, look after her, mate.
Oh well, she can't claim compensation yet because she doesn't get paid for it. So, but I'll be her doctor. But anyway, no, we just want to just say that, and yeah, if you want to ask me, please do. But more importantly, just go on our page and just share it, share your thoughts and prayers. But anyway, yeah, go to ACDC Lane. I did take a walk down there last time I was in Melbourne when I see David, and I wasn't too surprised. I wasn't too impressed the way they stuffed it up. I mean, it's a historical lane, but from what I saw back 3 months ago, I wasn't impressed the way they've been treating it and looking after it. But anyway, that's all I got to say with that. You know, look after that little laneway. You know, I might go down there with a big spray can and put a big massive ACDC sign on something. You know. But no, I should be there. I'm just working things out. But we've got to wait till the 29th first, and we can come over. And that. But no, go to our Facebook page at Krazy Knights, the Australian Kids Podcast at facebook.com. Go to our Twitter page at Krazy Knights 1 at Twitter, and go to our YouTube. And like I said at the start of the program, we're working on the other avenues with the audio again. Just be patient. We're going flat out like a lizard drinking. So yeah, join us next week, and there's going to be more surprises in store. So rock on, David, and enjoy the Australia Day as you can. And
we'll do.
We'll be back.
You too, mate.
You too. All right, we'll be back next week. Rock on, guys.